So last night I was watching a lot of videos about the Anunnaki and just from different creators because that Anunnaki, that whole concept of the prison planet and whatnot, that's what stimulated my awakening in the sense of getting me to put puzzle pieces together. And that's the one that hit hard. Like when I found out that information, I'm like, this makes sense. Because for me, it was like I already knew this was a matrix. I already knew this was a simulation. I knew this from like my 20s. I knew that we're living in a matrix. Things don't feel off. The system is not right. There's this everything felt like a stage. It didn't feel real, but I didn't have enough evidence or proof to really like the Matrix movie. Yeah, whatever. There's things that have exposed us and told us these things, but I didn't have proof as to why things are like that. Because it's like, yeah, we can understand that this is happening, but why is this happening? That's always been the bigger question for me. And that's what a lot of people should ask themselves. Why are things the way they are? And it's not, oh, just because, right? Like that's why I grew up Christian, and that's what I didn't like about Christianity when I was young, because when I would ask them, oh, why is God so vengeful? Why does he do this to people if everyone's his children? Then why does he treat these people horribly for doing wrong? Like, as a mother with kids, like, I'm not going to stop loving my kids because of the fact that they do things that I don't like, or as they get older, they disobey me more. No, I'm not going to send fire and punish them and wipe them out because of the fact that they did that, right? So that's what I didn't understand about God. And that's why I fell out of religion, because I was like, this doesn't make sense, and I'm supposed to just accept this without understanding the why or the bigger picture of everything. So with Anunnaki, it was like, okay, this fits in together. But what I want to talk about, and I had talked about it when I was first, like a year ago, and maybe I might have touched on it like a month ago or something like that, about DNA. So there's this actor, and I forgot what his name is, but he's super smart. And I reposted on my TikTok, but he was saying that how we had 38 chromosomes before, and now we only have 36. So what happened within our evolution that we would lose chromosomes and not have more, right? Like, or have the same amount, that we lost chromosomes as a result. And it's because someone tinkered with our DNA, which is probably the Anunnaki. And what they put into our DNA, either the Anunnaki or what scientists have found in our DNA, is a worship gene. So the Anunnaki, or creation, or someone, so yeah, someone put in a worship gene for us to worship. If this is the prison planet, then they put in a worship gene for us to worship them, so that we were slaves to the system, so that we didn't question. So that, why do you think that religions are such a dominant thing, that people just fall into religion out of fear and start worshiping? And they could even put in a fear gene into us. Like, that could have been a thing as well. I feel like it was fear and worship, but they basically removed two parts of our chromosome that could have been like our power and our spirituality, like really our third eye being awakened, or being able to see through the different veils and different dimensions. But they basically they basically removed parts of their gene. And it's like funny, because for me, like, it's very hard for me to see visuals. Like, I remember in class in university, they would always say, oh, picture a purple elephant in your head. And I couldn't see a purple elephant. And I thought everyone was like that. But I'm like, no, like, people actually see visuals in their head. Like, they see these, that's how they're able to paint these sculptures and all these amazing paintings, because they see visuals. But for me, that's been like, quote unquote, turned off. And I feel like it's because because I have such strong intuition, because my third eye is open from young. It's been like this. I've always had a strong intuition. I've always had sensations. It's almost like they turned off my ability to visualize things or get messages through visualization, because they didn't want me to be tapped into my power even more, right? But through meditation, through me keeping my eyes like completely black, I've been getting better at seeing visuals. Like, now I'm starting to tap in where I'm like, holy, this is what people see? Like, this clarity of an image in their head, which I never had that. I always had thoughts and imaginations of what I wanted to see come into fruition, but they were all like words that I was coming up with, not actual seeing the thing. And if I was seeing the thing, it was like hard to explain, but it was like in a distance. It wasn't close up, like right in front of your face. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on seeing visuals, but it's like now that I've been working on it, it's just like attacking me. You know what I mean? Like it's just a random visuals coming in because of the fact that I haven't been able to tap into that. It's been turned off. But you can turn it back on by tapping into your power. Anything we can turn back on, because why? This is just a physical body, and and our soul is what holds all the secrets, right? So, okay, so I'm getting sidetracked. But basically, I want to get back to DNA. So I was wondering if the DNA was part of just this physical body. Like, why is it that every time we reincarnate into a lifetime, we're different colors, we're different skin colors? So it's like we tap into our ancestors, but who are our ancestors if they change every time? Like, we're a different heritage, we're a different color every time we come back into existence. So do our ancestors follow us? Like, is that part of our soul family and they follow us and they become that different color? Like, they're always our ancestors no matter what skin, like an avatar we come into, they're always going to be our ancestors. So I haven't had my cup of tea yet, but I wanted to come straight on and record this message, and my thoughts are all over the place because I need my tea and my breakfast, but I wanted to like just talk about this. So anyways, DNA. Now how I'm seeing DNA is that our DNA is part of our soul. Like our soul signature is our DNA. So it's like weird though, because it's like in our DNA is our like melatonin, is our color in our DNA, but like no, I don't know. Like that's what's the hard part for me to understand, is because like our genetic makeup, that's our DNA, right? But our genetic makeup changes based on what body we come in. So does our DNA change every time we come into a body? I don't know, it's so weird. It's so hard to understand this concept of DNA, because if they're tinkering with our DNA, then they're tinkering with it on a soul level. So every time we come in, we have this worship gene that they've tinkered with 200,000 years ago. So I still have to understand this DNA aspect a little bit more, but our DNA is a genetic code, right? Like when you look at DNA, I think it's 0 and 1s all throughout the DNA. If I could be wrong about that. But it's like this genetic code that's part of our soul, and our soul is energy. And what is our soul? Our soul is consistent of numbers, patterns, right? That's why we're able to see angel numbers and all these things, because that just exists within our soul. So everything is about co-creating with the universe. And when they say God is outside of us, when they say God is within us, but it's also outside of us, because there is an alternative source of energy, like a bigger source of consciousness that comes into play and co-creates with us, right? So it's like we're co-creating with the universe, but that's why every person is their own unique soul, and they have free will to make their own choices. So even though you are quote unquote one with God, you are not creation, right? You are. So it's like even though you're part of creation, you're still your own individual person. That's why positive and negative energies exist, because all these souls are what's vibrating at a frequency, and based on the choices they make, their vibration gets higher or lower. So I think like soul families are what creation created, right? He created our soul signature, and we have people that we come into every lifetime with, no matter what color skin we are. They're always our ancestors, because of the fact that we always come into existence, into lifetimes together, or part of the same lineages. We're not coming in at the same time, but we're coming in a part of the same lineage because they're part of our soul family. Just like romantic partners. We always are going to meet those romantic partners until we close our karmic cycles, or we've finished everything that we've had to experience with that person, whatever the case may be. Or if we change our frequency, we're going to go into a new vibration of people that we are part of our new soul family. So it's like, that's why vibration is so important, because that's what gets you to that's what attracts your crowd, right? And what category you're put in, basically. but we need to pay more attention on DNA, and I need to research more about DNA. But it's like we're just going to understand on a scientific level, but we need to understand DNA on a spiritual level, because if we can tap into the powers of our DNA that have been turned off, or if we can evolve our DNA through our thoughts, through our manifestations, then we become powerful.